Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Antonio Talks talk show. I haven't done this show in quite some time because I've been busy travelling the world and making part of my business happen. So it's really good to get back into London, get back to doing it, get back to the fun stuff, which is just talking to people. And on that note, I have a special guest with me. I suppose I'll let you introduce yourself, Mark, but tell us about you. Actually, let's just go into it. So Marc Sumner, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you guys, thank you.
How is everything?
Really good, yeah.
How was your journey up here from sunny Slough?
Yeah, in Gerrards Cross actually.
Sorry, I keep saying Slough.
Can't say Slough, Gerrards Cross, but yeah, not too bad, yeah. It's only 40 minutes away, so.
Awesome.
Nice to come in here,
yeah.
Love
Great.
London.
Do you come into London often?
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Still go out and see clients, so always a good time to get out of the office, I think, so meet them face to face. So yeah, probably 2 days a week probably up here.
Awesome. So tell us about yourself, Mark. So obviously we don't really know each other.
No, we don't.
This is really the first time we've had a face-to-face interaction, which is very nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for
cheers.
beer.
Thanks. Cheers.
Yes.
We're looking for beer sponsors if anyone wants to jump in to our 300 views a week. 300 views! No, we will get there. So yeah, Mark, tell us about you. Tell us about what got you here. What got you to this day?
Okay, so I got into recruitment in 1999 for a company called, I don't think it's called Mandeville, but bought by the Randstad Group now. And then about a year later I set up Robertson Sumner. So I've been going 19 years now.
Right.
And it's always just IT sales recruitment up till then. This year I've started doing technical, which is very new for me. We've always just done IT sales, but technical this year as well. So IT sales and technical, based out of Gerrards Cross, but cover sort of southeast and most of the UK.
So what sort of technical stuff are we talking about?
Help desk, engineers, third line support, second line support, but that's a small division of what we've got. Our main one is sales, so it could be like sales support, sales directors, account managers, product managers, externals, internals, anything sales related.
So 19 years, 18 years, 19 years.
Yeah,
wow.
19 years.
You've been running Robertson Sumner for 19 years. Tell me about the changes, because you must have seen a thing or two.
Well, now obviously, the technology has a massive disruption now. So when I was starting to recruit myself, it was fax machines, no email. Black book, phone, that's it really.
We were asking this the other day, we were saying, how did you actually schedule into people's diaries back in the day? Like, what would you do? Before like Google Calendars and calendars.
It was literally just you're telling them when they're going to turn up. There's no scheduling it at all. There was no email confirmation. It was literally you're calling up. This guy's coming at 3 o'clock. He's going to knock on the door and then open the door.
What was the ratio of like dropouts then?
Oh, it's probably the same as it is now. You know, you're still going to get people ringing up saying their dog's died or their uncle hasn't turned up for something or a funeral. But
I think a funny excuse. It's a funny excuse for any interview. Also for any sickness at home or someone's ringing in sick to work or whatever it may be, they always use I've been up all night. It's always I've been up all night with a sickness or with diarrhea or whatever it may be. I've been up all night. Like as soon as you say that, it's like I don't think you're sick. I've been up all night. Just don't say that.
The credibility's gone out the window.
Exactly. Isn't it? Just tell us you've shit yourself. It's okay, but if you've been up all night, then I don't think you have, unless actually sometimes I've been up all night. So look, it's fine. But we were talking about that the other day. So let's get into talking about the industry, and I think. The industry, how often do you think it goes through a shift? Do you think it does go through a shift, or do you think recruitment is always recruitment?
That's a good question. I think obviously technology has been a massive disruption to the market. Over the last 20 years I've been in the industry, it has affected it. There's no doubt about it. But I think the human element's still very much involved in it. I think the main skill of a recruiter, the trade of a recruiter, is to get someone to the hiring table, and that interaction from getting them to turn up to the interview hasn't changed at all. The craft of recruitment, I think, is still the same, even from the late 90s when I was doing it.
Yeah, and it can't happen behind a computer, can it?
A robot or can't predict that, can they? You've still got to have I think recruitment is perfect when technology meets human interaction. You still want to get someone to be able to influence someone to the hiring table. That's the skill. When I look for a recruiter, I look for someone who can actually influence someone to do someone. You can't get a robot to close anyone, can you?
No,
for a job.
The interesting thing about it is that there's a lot of people out there who are going, well, but if you remove scheduling interviews or you remove, the offer process being automated, then you're going to replace recruiters. But I don't think you will. Like, I think that interview scheduling, if you're a recruiter, and I'm saying this out there, if you're a recruiter and your only point of contact with that candidate is to schedule an interview, then you're in the wrong profession. You're doing the wrong thing, and you shouldn't be made redundant through automation, because a recruiter is all about that candidate experience, right? So that experience, how we interact with each other, how we guide, coach someone, and that's, I think, I don't know, and I'm going to ask you this because you're the expert and you've been in the industry a much longer time than I have. Do you think that that is the barometer of success for your recruiters, how much they stay in touch with that candidate or with that client?
Again, a great question. I think, candidate experience with a recruiter, if you've got a good recruiter and you've got a relationship with them, they can be the difference between you getting the job or not. You said earlier about automating a close process or an offer process. To me, that's impossible. How can you automate an offer process when there could be, location issues, money, benefits, I want a guarantee, you might be able to put a tick box in those things, but you can't automate that. So if you've got a good recruiter who's bringing you the right opportunities, giving you the interview prep to actually get the interview, the tips, the assurance to get the interview, I think that's a massive difference to someone.
What about the stuff where you're calling up, just scheduling interviews, right? So this is how it looks like. So I missed a candidate, they want to interview you, great news, this, that and the other, when can you do? Well, I could do 5 PM this week, 6 PM next week, 2 PM the other day, blah, 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 this, that and the other. Okay, thanks, I'll get back to you shortly. Call up the internal hiring manager or the internal recruiter, you don't get through to them. So you have to wait, email them, you're still waiting. What if that process was automated? Because that's not recruitment, scheduling interviews, right?
It's admin.
It's admin.
Yeah.
So this is exactly it. So I think if you can remove all that process stuff, first of all, you're going to get quicker results for you, you're going to make a placement faster.
Yeah.
Also, employers are going to hire faster because you're not to and froing. So we've built actually this in Recruited, the app. So when companies can post you a job, right? So I'm an employer, I'm Google, I post you a job. Yeah. I'm hiring first line support, I'm hiring a sales director, a technical sales director, right? So I post you my job, you accept it, and once you accept it, you can add your candidates, of course, not standard. It's just traditional recruitment, right? So you add your candidates just in one place. Once Google offers an interview, there's an automated message from your company to the candidate. So Google don't ever speak with the company or the candidate, you do, but it's all automated. So you can just focus on calling up the candidate, making sure they're happy, making sure everything's good, making sure that they've got the right resource needed, and focus on the candidate experience. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Again, automation can do that, but let's be honest. Recruitment, 70% of it's admin. It's a lot of ball ache stuff that you've got to do, scheduling interviews and sending interview confirmations and that sort of stuff. But still, the skill of the recruiter is getting them there, getting them to the hiring table. Google can send that job out to me. Can I actually make the guy turn up? No automation can do that. So the element, whether it's 20 or 30% of the job, that is the skill of the recruiter to me.
But what if you took away the 70%?
If I took away the
admin, what would happen?
Again, it's a good question.
I think your overheads would go down massively.
Yeah, pretty would. Yeah.
So, and obviously that's bad as well, right? Because so if 70% of the admin is if 70% of the role is admin, then I think probably the role in the future will go from, and it's not just through recruitment. I'm not saying that we're going to be the disruptors, but I'm saying automation is definitely going to automate this stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
The role of the recruiter in the future, and this is I'm just thinking out loud here. Will be more around candidate experience, and it'll be like you wouldn't be a recruiter anymore, you'd be an experienced person.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah. What do you think? I don't know.
Well, at the moment, there's massive candidate shortages in the market.
Yeah.
We've got employment, not seen since 1970s. Yeah. So everyone is capable of having a job, has got a job. So we've got candidate shortages. So I'm looking at people now thinking where recruitment's merging a bit with marketing. Candidate attraction strategies. How do I get that person in? And also, like you said, the candidate experience.
Yeah.
People are, recruitment now. Candidates are more like consumers. They're actually choosing who to use and what companies to use before. Before you'd have to have a ring up a job and do a convincer on them.
Yeah.
Can I get?
But they know more information on you now than
they do. And then before they even got to the company, you might mention the company. They know. I know Joe Blogs that works. I know this. So they already know everything about it. So I think you're right. Candidate experience, yes, but also marketing. How can we actually get
branding piece? Yeah,
absolutely. Branding.
So this sounds like I'm just plugging my, but I'm actually not.
No.
But the point is, I'm absolutely in alignment with what you're saying, and that's why we built Recruit It, because the app is about showcasing brand first of all and awareness, and then putting them in and removing all the friction in those transaction points of view.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if you have a look, like you said, candidates are now consumers, and there's proof of this because 3 out of 4 candidates are always, or 3 out of 4 professionals rather, are always looking and open to opportunities. Not looking, open to opportunities rather.
If approached.
If approached. So, because we always, like for instance, we have sofas longer than we have jobs nowadays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you'll still go to IKEA. I'll still go to IKEA. I'm actually going on tomorrow. I'm going to get some meatballs first of all. But I've got to do a bit of DIY. I'm the worst at it. But my missus has been on me for ages, and I've been in San Francisco for ages. So tomorrow's my day. I'm going into the house and I'm doing it. Anyway, we'll still go down to IKEA and we'll still look around and go, oh, that sofa might look good in the house. We bought one last year, but that might look good. You know, you're always consuming the possibility of sitting on that sofa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could be TV, whatever. We're always consuming the possibility of working somewhere else, working at a company that may be better than our current workplace.
Yeah.
And that's because you're right, it's a candidate-driven market, right? And that's because they want, like, I just always want something better. We always want now. We're never happy, never satisfied. It's always like, you know, you need to have a bigger house, a bigger car, or you know, you need to constantly consume, and that's what leads to that is that original job, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think as well, there's so much awareness in the market now. You know, before, you know, it's like globalisation. We're a small industry now, even though we're a big world. We're a small industry, so everyone's sort of looking at everyone else thinking, has he got a better job than me, or is he earning more money than me? Before, you might just have your circle of friends. You might just think, actually, you might not know anyone who's got a really, really good job. You might have a circle. Now, you look on Twitter, you look on Instagram, Facebook, everyone's got fantastic jobs and everyone's got options to have a look at it. So, and also people can do more research. Yeah. You know, where's the best salary, where's the best jobs all the time. You couldn't do that before, so I think it's very much, people are seeing it, and we're in a demand now industry now. Yeah. If anyone sees someone getting a really good job, I want that job as well. Yeah. So everyone, I think, 90% of people are passively looking. So
there are 2 points to that, right? Which I think awesome, because everyone's got opportunity.
Yeah.
But equally, I think, well, it's also it makes people delusional, thinking that they can. Yeah. If I've got into a job because I've worked my ass off for 10 years in one place and I've really built my clout in that industry, I've really built myself up, as opposed to someone who's been in a job for 2 years. Or been in the industry for 2 years, went to 2 companies, and then they think they can get the same job as that person, and they haven't done as much work. I think we're also in a delusional society where people think they're better than they are. Yeah, they don't want to lay down, and we'll just be straight, right? They don't want to lay the foundations in one place for a couple of years to build their clout, build their understanding, build their market. Even it's recruitment, but even in other industries. Build that skill up, build their notoriety up, and then they can go and get a much larger salary elsewhere. But everyone expects that larger salary straight away. So you've got school uni leavers now who think they're like, you know, they're 30, 40k a year. Yeah. You know, but actually, have you noticed that?
Yeah. Well, I think and recruiters aren't helping that.
No.
You know, recruiters are. You know, we're because there's such candidate shortages all the time. Recruiters are, you know, romancing, seducing people off LinkedIn, flattering people's egos.
That's how I got in the industry.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to be a millionaire. Apparently, I could be a millionaire. You know what I mean? They were showing me checks of their paychecks, and I was like, I want that.
This is what happens, though, isn't it? You know, people are getting flattered by over LinkedIn, and suddenly, I'm getting applied for jobs for, you know, they've been in recruitment a year, and they're suddenly getting applied for a sales director role.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
I know.
You know, and I think recruiters don't help that. You know, we're still getting people that just saying, "Oh, your profile's looking fantastic. I've got a perfect job for you, etc." It's like, stop. You haven't got a perfect job. Like, yes, you'd like to engage with them, but we shouldn't be flattering people's egos so they're actually going delusional, because that is happening now all the time.
I know.
I mean, we're getting people now coming, you know, demanding 50% pay rises. It's like 50% pay rises.
No, fair enough. You've done well. Let's not take that away from you, but 50% pay rises. Like, tell me, how much value have you brought? Like, you know, you still got to run a business. And I think also there's an approach today that is like, I feel like the generations and the workforces of today, you know, the younger generation's more so, and I'll say straight, I'm young, right? I'm 29, just turned 29, so I'm young in comparison. But
wow.
I feel like, yeah, exactly. But I feel like millennials, my generation, are a bit like, they don't want to put the grind in, they don't want to put the graft in. They'll consistently hop, or they'll feel hard done by. They can't take feedback properly. Yeah. And I'm actually being straight. Like this is a generalisation. I don't really care. It's a generalisation, but it's more so around. I look at my mates and I look at the way they are, and I look at, you know, the communities I hang out in, and I look at how people are and how entitled they are. You know, and I don't believe that anyone deserves anything. You got to prove it. Do you know what I mean? You got to grind it.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe. So I don't know how you feel about that. And obviously, that's a very it's a very touchy thing for you to be talking about, because obviously you have your business and all that stuff. But I don't really care about talking about it, because I'm just like, well, yeah, I have my business, but it is. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, funny enough, I've got a lot of young guys working for me, you know, sub sort of 25, 26. Again, I think it's down to the individual. I think there is still people, millennials, that are, you know, that will stay and will work and will do a career.
Yeah, totally.
But I think most people, if they're going to change job, they change job before 25 more times in their career than they'll do that throughout their age.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. People that before sort of 25, 26, they might try 3 or 4 things, but hopefully after that they might start into a career. But I don't know. I think millennials, the demand, they're more demanding now. I think they realise that they can get there's more jobs available. I think when you know, I was that sort of age, there wasn't the jobs available. Yeah. You had to sort of stick at something to try and make a career for yourself. I think now.
But I also think it's about your geography, like where you're from too. So, you know, millennials from possibly the UK would be different from millennials from, you know, Portugal or Spain or Italy, because of just the lifestyle that you've probably had, right? But I do feel like there's an interesting social experiment to be done in that space, to really understand, like, well, what is it that makes our generation, millennial generation, so different? And I say so different, I guess different in expectations, but it could be social media.
I think it's got to be, hasn't it?
It's got to be.
It's a massive disruptor. You know, if you're looking on social media or Instagram and you're seeing people that are, you know, millionaire status or doing this, doing that, and they're young guys, it's going to influence you.
Yeah.
It's going to massively influence. And I think social media has been a great barometer for people thinking, actually, I can either start my own business. Very entrepreneurial people. You know, loads of businesses online now. So I think it's giving people more encouragement to think, actually,
that's great. That's great. But also, I don't think everyone is a business operator. Do you know what I mean? No. Like, I think you can start your own. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs are the new rock stars, aren't they? They're the new, like, sort of. But actually, you know this, it's a lot of shit, isn't it? Yeah. Come on, it's a lot of shit running a business, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's actually easier not to run a business and just work for someone than it is.
I think it is. I think like, if someone had told me 20 years ago, you know, the stuff I had to go through, thinking, would I have done it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't have started, actually.
I'm in that space, right? Like, the stuff I have to go through, you know, and you get to a certain point, a certain level of staff, a certain level of awareness in the market, and all you're dealing with is shit. Like, right now, like, it's fun, I love it, but a lot of my time is now firefighting. That's it, it's just firefighting, clients, you know, employees, it's pushing us forward, it's all the shit stuff that no one wants to do, but you have to do as the CEO, do you know what I mean?
And that's not the reason you started the company, was it? To do with that. No one wants to say, oh, actually, I'm just doing this like firefighting all the time.
But I think it takes a certain type of person, and equally, it takes a certain type of person to do the other jobs in the company. Like, I can't do what Louisa does out there. Louisa does administration. I can't do that stuff. And Louisa loves it. So, you know, for me, it's like, it takes a certain, like, I can't do what Gerbs does here. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't do it, and Gerbs loves it. So it does take a certain type of person to do a certain type of job, and I think that's probably what makes us who we are, right? Yeah. But what are we competing with on Instagram, Gerbs? We're competing with tips, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we are. It's like, Instagram is softcore porn, isn't it? It's like, you take a look at Instagram, that's all it is. And it's crazy that, or we're competing with like really muscly men, or like people who've got washed, like these amazing abs and whatnot. I mean, if I did that, if I took my top off, people would certainly turn off from what I'm doing in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? So that's what we're competing with. We're competing with, I suppose, what is it? It's
idealistic stuff.
Idealistic stuff. It's a facade. You know what I mean? It's not real.
Yeah.
What is real is like these human interactions we have, and that's the trouble with anything online, even LinkedIn, even any sort of thing that you can't, unless you experience that company or unless you experience that person in real life, you can't really understand who that person is. Like, I come across online as an arrogant little prick. Do you know what I mean? I do.
Oh,
no, I do. Right? But the thing is, if you come and meet me and you sit with me, I'm not like that. Do you know what I mean? But it's just I have an opinion, and so when you're only hearing that opinion, it makes you think that that person is like that. But I have an opinion, but actually I'm just a normal person who's just trying to get by. I worry about the same cough as you worry about. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we need to have a bit more empathy for each other on social media, and not go, actually that's not that person. Like, you know, they all they're posting is that portion of their day, which is maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or that portion of their life. You know, that's not who they are. They still go to the toilet. They still do number 2. Do you know what I mean? They're not perfect.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what we're dealing with social media. I think we just put the world to rights there a little bit.
Well, I think I think social media, you know, the platforms now, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, recruiting. There's so many platforms now everyone are using. I think we're almost in that world now. I think if you're not in that world and you're not using those channels to promote your business or promote yourself, or however you want to promote yourself, you're going to get left behind because it's happening.
So how do you feel about people who do that? Because there's a lot of people who do that, and I to be honest, I think it's great that people are famous on Instagram for singing or for doing a dance or whatever it may be, or for their tits or for their washboard body, whatever it may be. I think it's great, but what I don't like is how people like that who put themselves out there get the stick for it. Do you know what I'm saying? But these are just people who they're just doing their thing. Yeah. But other people will start trolling them and start.
Yeah, that's bad.
Do you know what I mean? Because it happens, right? But it happens more on LinkedIn than I've seen in any other social platform.
Really? What, trolling?
Trolling. No, I wouldn't say trolling, but I'd say, because LinkedIn is full of ego, right? It's full of too much, because it's like the workplace, right? All it is the workplace online, right? So it's loads of people in the workplace, on a thread, maybe someone's talking about something here, and everyone else will jump in and chime in, and everyone will seem to be an expert on that topic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like when boxing, it's like when boxing comes around, all your mates and their nan are talking about boxing, talking about is Conor McGregor going to beat Floyd Mayweather? Yeah, he'll beat him because he's not a boxer. Do you know what I mean? He knows how to do it. This is the whole thing. It's like there are a lot of what do we call it? It's not trolls. I wouldn't even call it trolling, but there are a lot of people who will only their contribution to social media is to put other people down.
Yeah, berate them more.
Does that make sense?
Yes, no.
Do you not see that?
No, I do. I do know. I see a lot of comments on people saying, "Oh, that's not right," etc. But again, I think if people put them on social media, especially on LinkedIn, I think I admire them. I think, do you know what? If you're going to put yourself out there, why not? You're going to expect a bit of abuse. I think you're going to have to sort of take it. So if you're going to say, "I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that, we've got the best company," or "Aren't we brilliant, amazing team, we've done X, Y, Z," I think you're going to have to expect a bit of a backlash.
So I was thinking about this yesterday. Someone said, I was tagged in some sort of story. I don't know really what it was. I read it. It was quite interesting, quite funny. And this geezer was like, it could be a woman, but it's a fake profile anyway. And they were like, it's good of you to step aside, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we haven't stepped aside, I think we stepped up. And they were like, and it's modest. And I just think, like, when you're running a business, often probably when you really started your business, the nicest things you probably heard were the things you're telling yourself about yourself, innit?
Yeah.
In those early days, the things you were telling yourself to keep yourself going. I can do this, or you know what I mean. I don't know if you did this, but everyone probably has done it to get a business off the ground. You have to speak to yourself. You have to big yourself up.
Of course you do.
And I think
if you don't believe in yourself, you're knackered, aren't you?
Exactly, and I think you have to be your biggest fan, especially in those stages, because most people won't be. So what I'm getting at is that if you are starting your business, and this is to everyone out there, you have to be your biggest fan, and you have to big yourself up, gloat in your glory. If you come across as arrogant, that's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. You're not there to please other people and make them feel like you're normal. A lot of people think you should just be in a square. Do you know what I mean? Just don't ruffle any feathers. Just be normal, be the same as everyone else. When you come out of it, people get offended by that. But why would you get offended by someone who just wants to live a crazy life? You know what I mean? Live an abnormal life.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think people it's easy to focus on people that can't do something. Everyone wants to put someone down, don't they? So everyone's focused on the skills you haven't got. So if you're not promoting the things that you actually got, you know, why not? I think just go for it. I think just sort of promote yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. You know, there's no point being shy and trying to actually start a business. There's no.
What is the biggest lesson you've learned as a business owner?
I think that you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to really mess up a lot of the time, and I think that's good to mess up because you'll learn from it. So I think that's probably the biggest. Trying to be perfect in business, forget it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In 18 years, 19 years, if you so have you ever stopped making mistakes?
No, no,
Really?
No, yeah, every month. Still every month. So, and my learning probably not actually.
That makes me feel better.
No, yeah.
It's an interesting place, isn't it, running a company? Like, do you feel lonely at the top of a company?
Sometimes. I'm lucky I've got a good team around me now, but at the start, initially, I did. Probably the first 5 or 6 years.
How comes?
Because it's hard. The first few years are hard. I think. You know, no one knows you. You know, you've got cash flow problems. You're trying to, every deal counts.
Yeah.
The ups, the downs of it. I think trying to get a brand as well out there in the market is really difficult the first few years. So I think it's pretty lonely. But I think if you get good people around you, I think that's a good start.
That's it, isn't it? It's all in the people.
Yeah, it's a team. It's a team. You've got. I think initially, maybe when you start a company, especially if you've been like a sole owner yourself. You start a company, it's quite lonely, and you haven't really got a team. You might have a couple of employees, but you haven't really got a team. When you've got a team, you actually think, we're in this together.
Yeah.
It does feel better.
That's it. I mean, absolutely. Without this team, I wouldn't be anywhere. Like, that's it. It's pretty much these guys who do everything. The app was my idea, social was their idea. So, and it's great to have them on board. So tell me a bit more about, I guess, your team. Like, explain the team. How big is it? What's going on in your team?
So I've got 16 in the team. So I've got 2 in technical, 14 in sales, operations guy, a sales manager running the team as well. So 16 of us.
Do you think it's important to have a salesperson in your team, and so just going out and BDing instead of just the more delivery side?
It's a really good question. I'm actually looking for someone at the moment.
Really?
It's a plug.
Yeah.
Want to come work? So I'm actually looking for a business development manager myself. I think there's an age-old debate about 360 delivery, business development. I'm a BD guy. I'm not really that great at delivery.
Same.
So I think I've almost got 360 guys with support. Stabilizers.
Yeah, that's it. So we in social we've got, obviously it's pretty much all delivery. So even we've got design, video. So obviously GURBS is part of that. We've got design, video, motion, and then we've also got talent experience. And these guys help just generate talent experiences for other people, for our users and our clients.
Right.
So they generate that sort of experience, and that's what their job is to do, is just create amazing experiences for people. So they're all delivery, right? But I have no salespeople. I'm the business developer in this company, but I'm not really doing anything at the moment. We're just I'm not doing any business development outreach apart from I have started this week. But I'm struggling to find a business development person because I feel like I'm matching them against myself. I'm not saying I'm the best at all. I'm not the best, but I feel like no one can sell the company. No one can sell your company as well as you can, right?
Yeah.
So what would be your advice to me?
Almost like lower your expectations. Well, no one's going to be as good as you, and that's not saying you're the best. No, the best person on the planet to sell, but you're the best person to sell your company. Yeah. That's a definite. Because no one's going to have the passion, the knowledge, the reason why you started the company, the confidence. If your name's on the door, you're going to have more confidence in someone that's actually working for you. So I think lower your expectations and be more realistic about what they actually can do, and almost set barometers as well. Whether if it's business development, old school methods, cold calling, or trying to get out meetings, or if they're more social, using threads, etc. So I think maybe set your expectations, what you're actually looking for.
Yeah,
and lower them a bit.
I know I need to do that. That's exactly what I need to do. Cool. So disruption in the industry. We've spoken about how automation will help, but it's not going to disrupt.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really going to disrupt. I say it's not. It's going to disrupt, but it's going to help. So what other things do you see the future of recruiting being? Because it's still a young industry if you think about it. Actually, or you could say it's the oldest industry, but we won't go there.
Yeah. I think they said video was going to be a disruptor. Has it been? Not really. Would I still use video for interview? Yeah, I would consider it.
So I'm not being funny, but I actually used I think they're more nuisance than they are. I think they're good if we're video interviewing,
Yeah.
but in terms of submission,
Yeah.
it's like no hiring manager wants to be watching it, sitting there 2 minutes, 3 minutes watching a video. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, and it's another thing to the interview process.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a hiring manager wants a recruiter to solve his problem.
Yeah.
However he does that, whether he's saying he's doing
Yeah.
pre-screens or he's doing psychometric testing or video, he doesn't really care about that. What he cares about is the person that comes in front of him, are they the right person for the job? End of. How we get to that point, he doesn't really care. I don't think. He doesn't really care. He just wants the right person in front of him, and it's not going to waste his time.
Because I feel like psychometric tests are good, but it's basically dependent on, I think the opposite side of that would be if a machine was assessing someone, then a psychometric test is good. Yeah. So if I'm an AI, and I'm trying to assess you whether you're right for a job, then yes, a psychometric test is important.
Yeah.
But a psychometric test for me or you or I or girls, interviewing someone, it's not, because we'll just go and sit and talk to them, we'll assess them. I think there is valid points to it, absolutely, and there's maybe for certain professions, but if we look at the scope for it for every profession, I don't think it works. Video, probably the best platform I've seen is Odro. I don't know if you've seen Odro.
Yeah, I've actually got a call with them next week.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So really? Odro is fantastic. Odro, the challenge with these is like you've got ex-recruiters building products, right, with most rec tech technologies, right?
Yeah.
And they forget the user experience. Whereas Odro got the user experience down. It's like instant. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
It's like there's no sign up. There's nothing in for the candidate. It's a real smooth process. So I'd recommend Odro. And I'm not here to plug it. I know obviously the guys there. They're great people.
Yeah, I've got to call them. Yeah, I've had a call.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going
really
to get a
awesome.
demo because I think that would be good on retained stuff.
Yeah,
better valid value.
Absolutely,
Not
it is
contingent.
important. Yeah, it's important. Yeah. So, because obviously it's retained, they're expecting that value. So yeah, absolutely. So I think video, video is video. We're definitely gonna see more of it. Whether it's going to be the first point of contact for a client when I don't know, me and the client. What about business development then? How's our business development paths going to be innovated, like for recruitment, for the recruitment industry specifically?
Again, I think it's a difficult one. I think old school methods of cold calling and door knocking and walking the streets and that sort of stuff, blended with.
Did you do that?
I did.
Do you want another bit?
Yeah. I did. Get me drunk now.
It's part of the show. It's only 12. It's half. It was 1:30. That's fine. It's so fun to get back to this. I miss this. Like honestly, Mark, I've been in America back and forth for the past 2 months, so I haven't been able to do this. It's so good to get back to it. It's just really fun. Anyway, so you used to actually go and knock on doors for business.
Yeah.
No way.
With compliment slips. Knock on the door. Who's the decision maker? Leave a compliment slip if they couldn't do it.
No.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Calling up Yellow Pages, trying to get an appointment. Couldn't get an appointment. Had to go down the high street. Yeah. Can I speak to?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Back the recruitment. No. Can I leave a compliment slip?
Do you think I don't think I could do that today.
People don't like human interaction now. That's the thing. People like hiding behind social media.
That's amazing.
Lots of keyboard warriors.
Yeah, of course.
Really brave over email. Really brave over social media. You meet them face to face. So then they're not so brave. But then you had to go in cold. So that was different. But I think obviously that's massively changed now. No one wants to be cold.
I love that. I love that hustle because I think. Imagine I went down to a client today or a potential client. I was like, "Can I speak to this person?" And they'd probably say, "No, you can't. You haven't got an appointment." Do you know what I mean? It's not on my Google Calendar. But I do think there is probably, if I was a opportunistic salesperson and I wanted to stand out in the UK market, for instance, recruitment, I'd probably go and do cold calling, like go to the place. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you think that's probably? Do you think it'll work though?
Now, no. I
Really?
think people they don't want to be cold called.
They find it offensive, don't they?
People get offended about anything now.
Oh, no, exactly. Did you see? Who's that geezer? Who's that comedian? The one with the beard.
New, old?
He's not. Well, he's like a sort of young comedian.
Beard.
He's like got a beard. He's a bit posh. He's not really a famous comedian. White.
Oh yeah, Whitehall. Yeah.
What's his name?
Jack White.
Jack Whitehall.
Jack.
Yeah. So
he's quite funny actually.
So he got a role, and there's something going on You know, I saw it on LinkedIn actually. Someone was like, I've heard it all now. The geezer's got a role in he's acting, right, and he's playing a person of the gay community, and apparently the gay community are in an uproar because they're like, he's not gay. But he's an actor. He's an actor. He's playing an actor.
Playing a role.
Why? And this is what I'm saying. You're right. Everyone gets offended today. And I just think it's like you don't have the right. Like you don't have the right not to be offended. Like you have the right to say your piece and say whatever you think, but you don't have the right not to be offended because that infringes other people's ability to have freedom of speech, doesn't it? I spoke about it before on this show actually. I just think that today it's like we're going a bit crazy, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going a bit too like, guys.
Political correctness now. You know, you can't say anything without someone commenting on it. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, if we end up doing that, people wouldn't even go out of their houses.
I know.
You know, just be on social media when it has gone nuts, and I think political correctness now is done. But you know, like I said, when we used to go out before, people didn't mind you going and knocking on the door.
No.
They actually were expecting it.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "Oh God, there's the recruiter again." That's high. But I think now, you know, people would be actually offended. You know,
yeah.
Sorry, you know, he's busy. What we know why?
How
dare you knock on my door?
It's him. Like,
Yeah. I've got an appointment.
No, I haven't.
No.
Just wants to come see you.
Exactly. Is he busy or not? You know.
Exactly. All right, let's go for a drink. It's fine. I think everyone does need to calm down a little bit. I mean, it's political correctness across the board. What do you think, Gabs?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with your point that like being offended doesn't give you a right. It's like a feeling. Okay, you're offended. You can
Why? Let's have a chat about that.
Yeah, you can express why you're offended, but it doesn't give you a right to a certain like motion. You can't. It's not a right, is it? To be.
But I equally agree that you shouldn't go out your way to offend.
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Let's get that straight. I believe that you shouldn't hurt people, and that's it. But I do believe that even if it's an opposite of opinion, or if it's like even open communication or even feedback, you know, feedback can be delivered, and I can say to you in a nice way that your work isn't great.
Yeah.
If you take offence to that, that's your prerogative. That's your problem.
Constructive criticism
is good. Super important.
Is
right?
good. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. I think like this vibe of political correctness in the world we're moving into doesn't give much leeway for people to get along.
Yeah.
Because we're constricting how we actually really feel or how we communicate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you do that, then that's the whole purpose. Then we might as well just stay in and just communicate via fucking text.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't misconstrue. Well, you can actually misconstrue text. Even then, you're fucked. We're fucked.
Yeah. Either way, social media in person. Don't go out your house.
Close it down. Let's close down recruiting.
Yeah.
I'm done. I think it's an interesting topic though. And where do you see this industry going then? Like, where do you see it going? And what do you feel like is needed for the industry? Because I kind of feel, and I'm just going to put it out there, I kind of feel like UK recruitment, and it's especially opposite to this, well actually I guess, I kind of feel like the UK recruitment industry is hated. In America, the recruitment industry is actually respected.
Yeah. It's a respectable job out there.
Australia, it's respected.
Yeah.
Actually, I think everywhere else apart from UK. Why? Do you think UK recruiters have fucked UK recruitment?
They certainly haven't helped. You know, there's still a lot of cowboy firms out there. I think people still, because there's so little barriers to entry, I think people see recruitment as easy money. Flesh peddlers, you know, we can just turn people up and we're not actually doing the service. They probably don't understand the value that actually a good recruitment company will bring. So I think, you know, cowboy recruiters haven't helped the industry, but there's still the perception, you know, basically we're viewed the same as estate agents. You know, we don't do anything, we get a fee for nothing, and we don't really add any value to the process.
Yeah.
So that's the perception, and unfortunately, until there's, I'm not saying regulation either, I'm not saying the REC should step in or there should be loads of regulation, but until the industry grabs a hold of that image and tries to change it by putting some procedures in, or do I want barriers to entry into recruitment? Maybe a little bit of barriers to actually to sort of set up because there's still people just turning up and then just firing CVs all over the place without even speaking to candidates, hoping for a fee. That isn't good for the industry. You know, CVs banded around without permission for the candidates and just spammed out to any company that they might get a fee. That is bad for the industry. That goes on all the time. And until that changes, unfortunately, we will still have the reputation we have.
So take recruiters for instance.
Yeah, no. Another plug.
This sounds like a plug. I swear to God, guys, I'm not plugging.
He's primed me for this.
But these problems are what we're solving, and this is actually it. So on Recruited, you post your Google posts a job to you. You add your candidates. Google don't. So you've added your candidate. Google don't see the candidate, but the candidate gets a message saying, "We've submitted you for this position. Do you want to proceed or not?" And they have to accept it.
And that's great.
So that's basically the candidate has to accept before they're getting submitted to Google, and then Google see that submission. So you could have, so say you've submitted 5 candidates for a requisition, and 4 of them have accepted. They will only see 4. The other one they won't see.
Yeah.
Because the candidate has to own their moving forward.
The data as well.
And that's important, and that's what we've built in, because these are the issues in the industry. And these are things that I've observed, and I've observed a lot that in the industry it's just like, and you can't blame people in the sense that, some people they'll just want money, no holds barred. You can't blame them. Look, that's their thing. Do you know what I mean? But we're not Wolf of Wall Street. We're not bloody. We're dealing with people's data here. We're dealing with people's lives. We're dealing with actual real things that matter. And so if we don't, I think you're right. There needs to be some stipulation. There needs to be something in place. Whether it's Recruited, whether it's something else, I don't mind. I think it's just more around the candidate needs to feel like they're in control.
I think, and it's a great point, Anthony. I think GDPR was supposed to solve this problem, right?
Now GDPR.
Yeah, GDPR was supposed to solve this problem. Data was going to be protected. You can't send out the CVs without permission. GDPR is great, but all it stopped is giving more work for the actual good agencies that were doing a proper job anyway. Hasn't stopped the cowboy agencies.
I
They
reckon,
can still bring
I
out
think
CVs
what
on time.
happened with GDPR, I reckon some lobbyists paid, like some GDPR consultants got all together. They went, right, we just make some money. Why don't we just create a fucking law?
New policy, yeah.
And then get everyone scared about May 2018. It's coming into play.
But everyone was.
Everyone was shitting themselves.
What are we going to do about GDPR? Oh my god, oh my god. Everyone was saying that all the time.
I saw a sign the other day outside of a fucking. It was in Caddington. Do you know Caddington?
No.
It's like a little village outside Luton. And I saw a sign outside. It was in a beauty parlour, and at the bottom of their window was, "We're GDPR compliant."
Oh my god.
As if, like, and there's no other beauty parlours around there either, so it's not as if you're going through. But if there was, you'd go, well, right, okay, I need to find a beauty parlour, okay, if there's 2 next to each other, they're GDPR compliant, let's go in.
Added benefit, GDPR.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who does lashes and is GDPR compliant.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
GDPR
on a back wax, are they GDPR compliant? Oh, okay. Will that make a difference?
Will they share my hair?
Yeah.
It is crazy. But I think, data is important. Actually, let's get onto that Facebook scandal then, data scandal. What do you think about that? Because obviously, all your data is everywhere now.
Yeah.
Do you know, in America, I don't know if you know about this, girls, but you can find out, if you can just literally pay some money, you can find out a person's criminal record, their health checks, their fucking, it's a public, I don't know what the website's called, you can find out all their family connections, their criminal records, all for like 20 quid.
That's like Ancestry.
Really? 20.
It's like Ancestry.com plus, isn't it? Like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can find out all their convictions, all their, like where they've lived. It's fucking crazy. It's public data.
Yeah. But I think that's the world we're in now. I think anyone that doesn't think that's not the world we're in now is nuts. People are putting things on Instagram and Facebook about what they're having for dinner. It's just the world's gone mad. But I can't see it changing.
Do you feel like we've gone into a parallel universe? Trump's president. We've got.
Who would have thought?
We've got. I genuinely like this little kid. I watched a video on YouTube, and he was like. He's like some mathematician, some whiz kid, he's like really intelligent, and he gave this theory that we've got into a parallel universe. So let's take it, we've got Brexit, Trump's president, we've got the most famous person in the world, no, hold on, not the most famous person in the world, but who's that? Kendall Jenner, she's almost a billionaire from her stuff. Like, this is crazy. Like, what is it? What are we in?
That's crazy. The world's gone mad though.
We're in a parallel universe. I think Higgs boson, you know when they did that crash and it just sent us into a honestly, I mean that's where we are. But it's great. Like you do have to look at the things. I mean we sound like a bloody pair of old women at the moment, don't we? Look at us moaning, those millennials!
Save the world to
Higgs boson, it's done us over, bloody scientists! But actually, I think we've never been in the best time. You know, look, I don't think, you know, I've ran a business for a year, and I don't think I could have done this back in the day. You know, like with the infrastructure that we have online, all these other companies and utilising their infrastructure.
And that's what's great about it.
Do you know what I mean?
That is what's great about social media. You can start something and you can promote it for all those channels, whether you're big or not big. You can pretend you're big and compete with the big boys. And I think that's great.
That's it.
I think that is good. Then you have to follow up the service though.
Yeah.
Can you deliver what you're saying? Because there's a lot of people out there saying, I can do this, do it. Oh, actually, can you? When you're actually after the service, so that's good. But I think, you know, self-promotion and social media to you know, advertise your company and promote yourself, fantastic. I think, and it's a level playing field. It's not like people can't do it. Everyone can do it. It's whether they want to or not. So
exactly.
I think that's a good thing.
I think that if you want to do social media, most people do. Like, how much do you do on social media? Your own personal brand.
On LinkedIn, quite a bit. I'm not on Instagram.
Do you do videos yourself?
Not much, no.
I want to start seeing videos, you Mark. Yeah. Come on, mate. Honestly, like just do a video of like I don't know if you know Cardi B. Do you know Cardi B?
Yeah.
You know Cardi B? She started as like an Instagram persona, right? But her stuff is sick, and there's a lot to learn from it. You just study people's characters online, and that's what I'm doing. Right? I'm studying people's characters. So this is exactly what I'm doing. Right? This is my marketing strategy for myself over the next year, and I'll tell the world it. I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to be a persona. That's it. I'm going to be a persona online, and it's going to piss a lot of people off. And it's going to, on the opposite side, it's going to make people really excited too. So you're going to have the people who are pissed off, but the people who like it, fine. And eventually, the people who are pissed off will end up liking it because they'll see it so many times, right? This is the marketing strategy, and all it is a persona. It's not me. It's a persona, and I'm doing it as a test to see if social media is as shallow as it actually is portrayed today.
It is.
Exactly.
It is. Come on.
But I want to see if it works. So Mark, we'll have a meeting this time next year. We'll do another one of these, and it may be somewhere else. It may be, you know what I mean? Maybe I don't know. But we'll see where I'm at with it because all I'm going just excited to just learn. Like, can I do it? Can I just like?
Have you seen these sort of like the Gary Vaynerchuk stuff?
Oh yeah, Gary V, yeah.
So Gary V, he is like, the stuff he's pronouncing all the time. It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
But he's out there all the time. Everywhere I see now, Gary V all the time. I love it.
But he's been doing it for how long? He's been doing it for like 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Is it that long?
Yeah,
Video every day. Yeah. He started the wine library. We've been doing 25 videos. We've done 25 videos, haven't we?
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, he's a prime example, and actually, you know, God love him, but he has so many people hate him too, and that's it.
I love his rawness though. I love it.
Exactly.
You know, straight talking, love him or hate him. It is what it is.
He's not politically correct, and that's what we need today. You know, we need, like, you should look at, like, do you know Joe Rogan and stuff like that?
No.
Joe Rogan's awesome. The reason I started this show was just because I wanted to do like a similar show to Joe Rogan. There's nothing original about what I'm doing, but I'm just testing it all out. There's nothing original. Exactly. But I'm not afraid to admit it. Like, people are like, oh, this is my idea. And there's no original ideas underneath the sun. So what would be, so we're going to come to the end of our show now. What would be the last piece of information you want to share with the community around, you know, running a business, around what's happening in social today and recruitment?
Okay, so running a business, I think, like you said earlier, you've got to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, don't bother starting. You know, if you're not going to promote yourself or be self-promotion, don't even bother starting. I think that's, and also as well, be bold with it. Yeah. Using social, you know, start putting yourself out there, start putting, you know, tweets or LinkedIn and start selling your service. Because I think people are doing that online a lot now and getting traction. Love or hate it, people are getting traction for it with that. With the recruitment industry, I think, yes, technology has disrupted it a bit, but I would still say to people, if they want to go into recruitment, it's still the craft of recruitment. Influencing people at the hiring table still, to me, is the best skill of a recruiter. So if you don't want to sort of do that and And you joined in a great industry. What we now, £42 billion industry?
No, globally, in the UK.
Yeah, in the
globally,
UK.
it's $500 billion.
Yeah, £500 billion in globally. I think it's 42 billion in the UK. Fantastic, bigger than the electronics industry.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's a fantastic industry to go into, but still look at the trade of the skill. You know, look, the skill is to get people to the higher table and influencing people. That won't detract from recruitment. Don't matter what technology comes in.
Yeah, no, I agree. Awesome. Can you just take a photo of us two while we're having a chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to make it look like we're having a chat. I hate missed calls from my numbers. Do you answer my numbers?
No, not if it's withheld.
No, well, I don't. Even if it's like withheld, even if it's not, I'm just not answering. And my phone book got deleted recently because I deleted one of my email accounts, and so had all of my accounts on it. But I just deleted the account because we weren't using it anymore.
Right.
And so all of my phone book is gone. So I've got numbers, people like contact me, I don't know who they are, I'm just like, I'm just not going to answer, do you know what I mean? Awesome, thank you. Alright, well look, this has been awesome mate, really good to have you on the show. How have you found it?
Yeah, great. Yeah.
It's been a good
Thanks for inviting me.
really good fun. So as I said, we're going to book in a year from today, I'm going to put a reminder in for my diary, and to get you in, and we'll put royalty rights there. We'll see how much more grey I've got, or like, you know, how much more stressed I look. But we'll definitely have it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good luck with it. Yeah.
Really great to have you.
Nice to meet you. Cheers, Anton. Bye.